1, go!
1 hour later. Nice.
EarthBound is a game that was a huge success when it first released, being one of the go-to games for the SNES in the mid-90s. However, just like with any one-hit wonder, the game faded in obscurity shortly after. Despite 2 other releases in Japan, EarthBound, or the Mother series as it's often known, was forgotten about in the West. Hell, if it wasn't for Vanessa and later Lucas being in the Super Smash Bros. Games, I doubt many people my age would know what EarthBound is, and that's honestly frightening to me. It was only in 2014 when EarthBound started to see a resurgence, after it was released on the Wii U eShop, along with Mother 1, or EarthBound Beginnings as it's known in the US. The resurgence then came back again last year, when both games were added to Nintendo Switch Online. This was the first opportunity I had to actually play EarthBound, and so I did, and now here I am talking about it. RPGs were usually set in the medieval times, with dragons and wizards and all that crap. EarthBound, on the other hand, was set in modern day America, or how the Japanese saw the United States. The game features regular people and regular locations, whilst also throwing in some obscure enemies, more on those later. As most RPG stories go, something bad happens to the world, and the hero then has to save everyone's asses. It's no different here. A meteor hits the small town of Onnet, and a young boy called Ness has been instructed by a literal fly to save the world from being destroyed by this great evil called Gygas. Ness is joined by 3 other kids, Paula, Jeff and Pooh. Yes, that's his actual name. All 4 of them have special powers, known as PSI. As the game goes on, the characters all get stronger, and learn the newer powers which then helps them. Well, at least until they actually face Gygas. As with any RPG, there are other characters and NPCs that you can talk to. Now, I would recommend that you try and talk to every NPC in this game, as some have some very useful tips that will help you, and others just say the stupidest and funniest things. Even Matt said that he loved how unique the dialogue was when he saw clips of this game. Talking to every NPC also helps the game to move along faster in my opinion. I'm not lying to you when I said that this is a long game. You have many worlds to explore in order to find the 8 Your Sanctuary locations, which ultimately leads to the final boss battle. There's just so much stupid shit that happens in this game, which really adds to the charm in my opinion. Everyone who's played this game has their own favourite event or sequence that happens. One of my favourites is at the very start of the game, where someone is banging on Ness's door, and his mom makes him answer it. Although it turned out to just be Pokey, I just find it hilarious how easily it could have been someone with a weapon, and Ness's mom makes him answer the door instead of herself. There's just so many memorable moments, like when this powerful alien that's the size of a fly is crushed by Pokey's mum, Ness being attacked by a bunch of cops, Pooh's name, and a photographer that falls from the sky to take pictures of the most random moments. It's the small details like that which really set the tone for the whole game. I also want to give a shout out to the enemies, because they are so unique. You've got your typical brainwashed animals, like the runaway dog and the spiteful crow. But there's also the starmen, a pile of goo, a mushroom, a hippie that uses a ruler as a weapon, and so many more wacky characters I could just spend all day talking about. Now can I forget about Mr. Saturn? What an icon. At the start of the game, you're given the option of naming the main characters, as well as Ness's dog, his favourite food, and his favourite thing to do. If you're childish and like pot humour like me, then the possibilities here are endless. It's even better too, because these things are mentioned in the game quite often. EarthBound is a weird game, because it gets easier with more progress, in contrast to most games out there. I won't lie when I say that the first 2 Sanctuary locations can be a pain to get to, as you're mostly just using Ness on his own, and the enemies can be ruthless, depending on your luck. However, as you meet up with the other characters and get more power and strength, it gets a lot easier. One thing I don't like about this game, and most commonly considered to be the game's biggest flaw, is the inventory space. The characters need a lot of things in order to progress in the game, and your inventory space just fills up really quickly. I do appreciate that the game tries to help with this though, through the Mock Pizza Delivery Express team, who will take any items you don't need at any time. Despite being first released in 1994, EarthBound has aged relatively well. The game's graphics, art style, and soundtrack still hold up well today, and the soundtrack has even made its way into the mainstream, with it being used as background music on YouTube videos and Twitch streams. As with most video games, people speedrun this game, and those who do consider it a fun way to revisit this game without spending a lot of time on it. There's also these runs called 1 out of 128 runs, where people play through the game trying to get some incredibly rare items that only appear once in every 128 playthroughs. It really amazes me how people to this day still find new ways to enjoy these classic video games. The EarthBound fandom has seen a huge resurgence in the last 10 years, and lots of play guides have been made to help new players beat the game. Even back in the 90s when it was first released, the game came with a player's guide that was a collector's item, and still is today, selling at around $1,000. EarthBound is a game that I encourage you to try at least once, because it truly is a hidden gem that deserves more recognition. If you have Nintendo Switch Online, give EarthBound a go. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It truly is one of a kind, and I hope that someday we'll get a new game. Then again, having Mother 3 featuring Lucas in the West would also be nice. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, so that you never miss any future content. Also, tap the notification bell to be notified the second we upload a video. I have been Tom from Nintendo Extremists. I'll catch you next time.